Welcome back to this week's edition of my weekly reflections. Today I am sitting outside in a beautiful afternoon. I'm going to take advantage of this whole online class, and one of the big advantages is that I can do things from my house. So I'm sitting out on my back porch. You can probably hear some kids playing basketball at a nearby basketball court. Anyway, this week's topic is talking about open educational resources and free courseware. And this topic is very interesting to me. I've been thinking a lot about open courseware, especially in related to educational software, and I certainly think that there's little doubt that we need sharing among scholars, among teachers for sharing of software. I think one of the things that I found most interesting, as I've done a little bit of reading and looking up about the Open High School of Utah, and reading some of Dr. David Wiley's blog posts, that one of the things that he did is he actually went before I don't know, the state legislature or the governing, I don't know who it was, the court system in the state of Utah. And one of the things that he argued was that if the state was funding public schools and if the state was funding teachers, then that all teachers should be able to, that they should be required to share the content that they create for their classes. In particular, they should share it with this Open High School of Utah. And he was successful in that argument, and there were some changes made that teachers are required to share content that they have created as long as it was created for a public school. And as the Open High School of Utah is also a public school, it's a charter school, that they are also a part of this educational system of the state of Utah. And I just think that that's very interesting. I think open content and open development of resources is excellent. I am a little bit, I'm not 100% convinced that everything needs to be free. Because I think that there are some dangers. One of the articles I read was talking about, sustainability models for open education resources. And there were certainly some things that they talked about that they can do, kind of have free versions and then paid versions or things like that. But I don't think that we can reasonably expect that everybody will just voluntarily contribute courseware or curriculums, especially based on their own research. Obviously, people need to be being supported, being paid, and as a teacher, and my plan to be a professor, work in an academic university, it certainly seems like if I'm being paid by this university, the content that I am creating, they should have some access to that. They should have some right to that. But at the same time, I don't know that I should be forced to share all of that information freely and openly with the entire world. And I think that the same kind of arguments go along with much of the activities in open software. Again, I certainly think that there is a lot of wonderful and great things about it, and I'm definitely for it, and I'm interested in doing more and more research about it because I am very intrigued in online learning as well as specifically the open content being developed. But again, I do have some reservations about, should it be required? What kinds of compensation should be required? I definitely could see models existing where, money is contributed for content, but maybe just not in the current distribution channels that we have right now. I'm very excited about the idea of content being delivered electronically and totally eliminating the process of, publications, book publishers, deals, things like that. Because as more and more devices like the Kindle or an iPad, if things can be just automatically digitally shared with other people and with other universities, it seems like you could have a much cheaper model for that distribution, maybe $5 or $10 a copy instead of $60 or $70 a copy for a textbook. I certainly see no reason why somebody shouldn't be compensated for work that they do. However, if they have things that are, they could have kind of a freemium model where they have free versions to get you interested in their paid versions. I absolutely think that could work in an academic setting or in an educational setting. And obviously one of the keys to free and open content in my mind is just simply access to the sheer number of people around the world. As we get more and more experts, these people only need to contribute a little bit. You look at Wikipedia, for example, and the many people that contribute to it, while maybe not, tons of people contribute to it, there are lots of people that contribute to Wikipedia, and that's what makes it successful. It wouldn't work if it was just, a handful of people contributing to this. Anyway, I think that there's lots of interesting things with open software, and I certainly am am a fan of seeing the distribution of OpenCourseWare. However, I'm not 100% convinced that I don't think all of it has to be open content. I think that there certainly is room for paid research, for people being paid for the writings that they do, even the development of curriculums and things like that. So I think there's lots of interesting things, and I'm going to go ahead and conclude for this week. We hope you'll join me again next week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.